Hello, all. I hope you've had a good day. I work tonight, and golly, it's so crazy when you can just pick up on energies. You just really can. Like, I can just feel a shift in energies at my work atmosphere, at my home, with my son, with my family. Network unstable. Yeah, I feel that. None of my videos are getting views, but it's all good. I don't care. I think it's comical at this point, but it's a crazy world we live in. We live in a world where people feel like it's their duty to humble people, and it's mind-boggling to me, because it's like, why is it anybody's job to humble anybody? Like, that is just unnecessary pressure, agony, and drama that you're putting onto yourself when you take that type of position, because you think you're better than people, right? And because that's the only reason why someone or people in general would feel like they need to humble people. It's nobody's job to humble people. The only reason why someone would put themselves in a position to prove someone a lesson is because you're judging them and you feel like you're superior to them. And see, that's just not something I entertain. I don't do that. I know a lot of people have done that to me in my past. It's story of my life. For some reason, things about me ruffle a lot of people. It's always been that way. And I've come to terms with it. It used to really bother me, and it doesn't anymore. It's a part of me. It's a part of my calling. It's part of what God calls me to be. And it's not my favorite, but it is what it is. God calls you, and you answer the call, and you step up to the plate. And you just take it in stride, because there are so many things throughout my day that I feel so blessed to be here. Like, I'm alive and breathing because God still has me here alive and breathing, is the way I see it, right? Because I have had numerous conversations with him, like, God, Jesus, like, I'm ready. Just take me. This is a hard purpose. And like, the strength and the resilience that requires in it by the grace of them. Like, I have these conversations with them all the time, particularly when it comes to just knowing the things that I know and withstanding the things that I withstand, but handling it the way that I do, because I carry such a diplomatic duality within me. Just because I don't say something doesn't mean I don't know something. Like, there are so many receipts and tickets I got from the last decade of my life of different scenarios with people, businesses, encounters, and golly bajolly, and it's one of those things. I find myself in situations and scenarios where it's like, I mean, do you guys see yourself? Do you see yourself? Like, I don't even exert my energy in saying certain things, because I look at it like this. If people act the way that they act and people do what they do, they're just not at a mindset to carry that type of conversation. It's not my job to put them in their place, because clearly they're not at the right space to even take in what I gotta say. Because if they were, they wouldn't be acting like that. They wouldn't be deflecting. They wouldn't be projecting. They wouldn't be manipulating. They would take accountability. And nobody does that. So when I find myself in circumstances and situations with people that aren't even at the point in their head to do that, I'm not even going to exert my energy. It's a wasted conversation. I've tried. It came to me earlier too. Something needs to be said when you find yourself in a fence where you've maybe mistreated someone, or you've done something wrong, or you've bestowed something onto them. You could just say sorry. You could just say sorry. And nobody likes to do that neither. Like, when it comes to my relationship with my mom, and different things in my childhood and stuff like that. Like, I was thinking about that. I'm like, you know what? To this day, I've never even heard a sorry. I'm sorry I didn't believe you when you were younger about being sexually abused. Like, that would go a long way. Again, I love my mother. I love my family. I love them unconditionally. I do indeed. But let me tell you something. At the end of the day, like, I'm in the circumstantial place that I'm at because it was so graciously allowed me and I'm blessed to be living here. I am, for the roof over my head and stuff like that. But damn, does it come with a cost? Does it come with a cost? And it has, in many, many different levels. Now, what's been presented to the world, that's one thing. But what's actually the truth? Well, they know that. That's why it's eating them up in different ways. That's why God is here showing them in different ways too. I see that too, not even just with my family, but previous friendships, current connections, Like, you just have to be very, very careful what you bestow onto people. Like, people don't realize, like, I know you might not believe in karma, or, might not believe in God's wrath or God's justice, but if you don't believe in it, that's cool. I respect that, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And I'm here to tell you that it does. And it comes back in very different ways, whether it's in your health, your monetary, it's in, different things with your children and your family. And that's why you have to be very, very careful with what you pour out into the world. And if you're doing awful things and, mistreating people and lying and scheming and manipulation and bribery and deception and all this stuff, if you're on the side of the fence where you're doing stuff like that, please believe me, God is up there taking receipts. And you can't run from God. You can't beat God. You can't. Even if you're somebody in the entertainment business and you're doing all these things and you say you're a God-fearing person and you're out here promoting his message, but in the back you're doing really awful things and selling your soul in different ways. Yeah, he sees that too. Money cannot buy you happiness. It will not. It will lead you down bad roads. And it's like, I say all these things with a humbled heart. Like, I don't say it lightly. It's hard. It really is. And it, like, when I got to work today, I was really irritated because here's the thing. Okay. So I'm working like 21 days in a row, and I put in my schedule change, and I specifically said what I could work, and they went out of their way to work me 3 weekends in a row, Saturday and Sunday. So essentially I'm working 21 days in a row, right? And I know that there's other coworkers that literally work 1 day a week, like have no problem working with other people, but for some reason, and again, I know it's a luck of a draw, whatever, but at the end of the day, it's like, I understand I'm just a number. But so I made a comment today, and somebody had said, well, you did this to yourself. Oh, no, honey. No. Let me clear that up real quick. I said, no, pay me more, and I wouldn't have had to run out and get a second job. Nobody can live off making $14 an hour working part-time. And there's people that work there that make less than me. Okay? You can't expect someone not to go out and get a second job based off making that. And then say that it's their fault. You put yourself in this position. No, actually, I didn't. The employer, corporate America, the greedy McGreedy, that wants to sit and pay people nothing. And that's why you have people out here working 2, 3, 4 jobs to make ends meet. So it's not about putting yourself in a position. It's about doing what you have to do given the breadcrumbs that they keep feeding us all. And that's the thing, is like, I will say what I want to say. There ain't no telling what's going to come out of my mouth. There's just not. But it's like I'm picking up on so much more now, and it just like breaks my heart because I see it, and I see the angles of everything and the illusions and everything dropping, and then I see how the mechanics work, where it's like one day this illusion pops up, and then the next day they try to present like, oh, everything's good, everything's fine. Like, it's just all an illusion in my life right now, and it's just crazy to me because these are people I love unconditionally. You see that? And it's just, golly, the AC didn't even crack on with that. That's crazy. It did that and the AC didn't even come on. That's crazy. Oh, there it just popped on. I hear you, God. I know. I'm just telling you this. Mark my words. When I move, I will not look back. I won't look back. I'll be sad, and I am sad. But some things you just can't undo. And if you're on the side of the fence where you're literally looking people in the eyes and you're straight lying to them every single day, and you do it just fine, it doesn't even wear heavy on your heart, that person will walk out of your life and not look back.